From the frozen tundras to the heart of bustling cities, the natural world, in all its beauty and ferocity, has always captivated us. Yet just as the animal kingdom experiences its share of conflict and struggle, so too does humanity face periods of turmoil and strife. Throughout history, wars have left their indelible mark on our world, shaping civilizations and leaving countless tales of both triumph and tragedy in their wake. But what if these conflicts, these clashes of ideologies and ambitions, were not merely isolated incidents, but rather part of a larger, more profound narrative? What if they were harbingers of something greater, something looming on the horizon? For millennia, prophets and seers have foretold a time of unprecedented upheaval, a period marked by global conflict and tribulation, signaling the end of an era. These prophecies, often cloaked in symbolism and allegory, have been interpreted and debated for centuries, offering glimpses into a future shrouded in mystery. Today we embark on a journey to explore these ancient prophecies, delving into the scriptures to unravel their cryptic messages and understand their relevance to our modern world. Join me as we examine the signs, the warnings, and the ultimate hope found within these sacred texts. In the Gospel of Matthew chapter 24, verses 6 and 7, we find a passage both sobering and strangely reassuring. Jesus, in his infinite wisdom, foretells a time of great unrest, a period when nation will rise against nation and kingdom against kingdom. He speaks of wars and rumors of wars, of famines and earthquakes, events that will shake the very foundations of our world. These calamities, he warns, are not the end, but rather the beginning of sorrows. Imagine, if you will, a world teetering on the precipice, a world where conflict becomes the norm rather than the exception. This is the picture painted by these prophetic words, a world where fear and uncertainty cast a long shadow over humanity. Yet amidst this bleak forecast, a glimmer of hope emerges. See that you are not troubled, Jesus counsels his disciples. For in the midst of chaos, faith becomes our anchor, our beacon in the storm. This message, though delivered centuries ago, resonates deeply with our modern experience. We live in an age where news cycles are dominated by headlines of war, terrorism, and political instability. It's easy to feel overwhelmed, to succumb to the fear and despair that these events evoke. But just as Jesus urged his followers to remain steadfast in the face of adversity, so too must we find strength and solace in our faith, knowing that even in the darkest of times, hope remains. In the book of Revelation, chapter 6, we encounter a scene of terrifying grandeur. From the heavens, 4 horsemen emerge, each representing a different aspect of the impending apocalypse. The second horse, a fiery red, commands our attention. This is the red horse, a symbol of war and bloodshed unleashed upon the earth. The rider, we are told, is given power to take peace from the earth and to make men slay one another. In his hand he carries a great sword, an instrument of destruction capable of inflicting unimaginable suffering. This is not merely a local conflict, a border dispute, or a clash of armies. This is war on a global scale, a conflagration that engulfs entire nations, leaving devastation in its wake. The image of the red horse is a stark reminder of the destructive power of war, its ability to tear apart the very fabric of society. It speaks to the darkest impulses of humanity, our capacity for violence and cruelty. The red horse's appearance in Revelation serves as a chilling warning, a testament to the ever-present danger of conflict and the urgent need for peace. The very name sends shivers down the spine. Armageddon. In the book of Revelation, chapter 16, verse 16, this ominous location takes center stage as the setting for the final, cataclysmic battle between good and evil. Imagine, if you will, the valley of Megiddo in Israel transformed into a colossal battlefield. Here the armies of the world converge, a vast multitude gathered for a confrontation unlike any other. This is not simply a clash of nations, a struggle for territory or resources. This is a cosmic showdown, a battle for the very soul of humanity. On one side stands the Antichrist, the embodiment of evil, leading his legions of darkness. On the other side stands the force of righteousness, led by the King of Kings, the Lord of Lords. The air crackles with anticipation, the ground trembles beneath the weight of countless soldiers. The fate of the world hangs in the balance, and then the heavens open. God himself intervenes, unleashing his wrath upon the wicked. The battle is fierce, the carnage unimaginable, but in the end there can be only one victor. Armageddon marks the culmination of human history, the final judgment and the dawn of a new era. In the book of Ezekiel, chapters 38 and 39, we encounter a prophecy as intriguing as it is terrifying. It speaks of a future conflict, a clash of civilizations unlike any other. At the heart of this prophecy lies a mysterious figure known as Gog, a powerful ruler from the land of Magog. Gog, fueled by ambition and driven by an insatiable thirst for conquest, assembles a vast army, a coalition of nations drawn from the remotest parts of the north. Imagine, if you will, a force so vast, so formidable, that it stretches as far as the eye can see. This is the army of Gog and Magog, a relentless tide of iron and flesh marching southward towards their ultimate prize, the land of Israel. For many, the prophecy of Gog and Magog represents the ultimate battle between good and evil, a final confrontation before the establishment of God's kingdom on earth. But this is no ordinary war. The prophet Ezekiel describes a conflict characterized by divine intervention, a supernatural showdown between the armies of man and the power of God. The earth will tremble, the mountains will crumble, and the very elements will be unleashed in a display of awesome power. In the book of Daniel, chapter 11, verse 40, we are granted a glimpse into a future marked by geopolitical turmoil. Daniel, a prophet blessed with extraordinary visions, foretells a clash of titans, a confrontation between two powerful rulers, the king of the north and the king of the south. These figures, shrouded in symbolism, represent not individuals but rather entire nations or empires locked in a struggle for dominance. Imagine a world on the brink, a world where tensions simmer and alliances crumble, where the balance of power shifts with each passing season. This is the backdrop against which Daniel's prophecy unfolds, a world bracing for a confrontation of epic proportions. The details of this conflict remain shrouded in mystery, open to interpretation and debate. Some see it as a regional conflict, a struggle for control of the Middle East. Others view it as a global confrontation, a clash of ideologies that will reshape the geopolitical landscape. Regardless of its specific interpretation, Daniel's vision serves as a stark reminder of the fragility of peace and the ever-present potential for conflict in our world. In the Gospel of Luke, chapter 21, verse 10, we find a chilling echo of the prophecies foretold in Matthew. Jesus, addressing his disciples on the Mount of Olives, warns of a time when the world will be consumed by strife and division. Nation will rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, he proclaims, his words heavy with foreboding. This is not merely a prediction of isolated conflicts or border skirmishes. This is a portrait of a world spiraling into chaos, a world where the very foundations of society crumble under the weight of human sin and ambition. Imagine a world where fear and suspicion reign supreme, where neighbor turns against neighbor and families are torn apart by the tides of war. This is the grim reality foreshadowed by Jesus' words, a stark reminder of the destructive power of unchecked conflict. But amidst the darkness, a glimmer of hope emerges. For Jesus also speaks of his second coming, a time when he will return in glory to judge the living and the dead. This promise of ultimate justice, of a time when peace and righteousness will prevail, offers solace to those who place their trust in God. As we've journeyed through these ancient prophecies, we've encountered visions of war, destruction, and unimaginable suffering. It's easy to feel overwhelmed, to succumb to the fear and despair that these images evoke. But it's important to remember that these prophecies are not meant to frighten us, but rather to awaken us to the spiritual realities that shape our world. They are a call to action, a reminder that we are not passive observers in the unfolding drama of history, but active participants in a cosmic struggle between good and evil. The future, though uncertain, is not predetermined. We have a choice to make, each and every one of us. We can choose to embrace the path of peace, to work for reconciliation and understanding between nations and peoples. Or we can continue down the path of division and strife, a path that inevitably leads to destruction. The choice is ours, and the time to choose is now.